In the unforgiving Arizona territory of 1875, Cordelia Whitmore toiled under a merciless sun, hauling water from the well to her horse trough. 3 years of running her ranch alone had hardened her hands and spirit, but survival demanded relentless grit. Dust shimmered in waves of heat as she wiped sweat from her brow, her calloused fingers steady despite bone-deep exhaustion. Then she saw him, a figure stumbling across her property, leaving a trail of blood on the parched earth. At first, she mistook him for a drifter. But as he collapsed near her fence, she recognized the long black hair, bronze skin, and Apache clothing. Her heart pounded. Sheriff Morrison's warnings about Apache raids echoed in her mind, as did the town's mantra: Indians were danger, death, the enemy. Every instinct urged her to bolt the door or fire a warning shot. Yet this man wasn't a threat, he was dying. Blood soaked his shirt from a bullet wound in his shoulder, his lips cracked white from dehydration. His dark eyes held no menace, only pain and desperate hope. Cordelia's thoughts flashed to her late husband, Thomas, and the pleading look in his eyes during his final moments. How could she turn away from such suffering, regardless of who bore it? Glancing toward town, she knew the consequences: shunned by merchants, neighbors, and the church that anchored her fragile social ties since Thomas's death. But the man would die without help. Filling a tin cup with water, she approached cautiously. The Apache stared in disbelief as she knelt and offered it. He drank deeply, water spilling down his chin, and whispered gratitude in words she couldn't understand. Then, with surprising strength, he staggered into the hills and vanished. Unbeknownst to Cordelia, Sheriff Morrison and his men had watched from a ridge. Her act of mercy had sealed her fate. 3 hours later, hoofbeats thundered across her ranch. Sheriff Morrison, Mayor Hutchinson, and 2 council members rode up, their grim faces signaling trouble. Morrison dismounted with deliberate force, his hand resting on his gun belt. "Cordelia Whitmore, we need to talk," he declared. She set down her tools, dread pooling in her stomach, but kept her voice steady. "What brings you out here, Sheriff?" "You know damn well," Morrison snapped. "We saw you give aid to an Apache. That's treason against your own kind." Mayor Hutchinson stepped forward, his usual charm replaced by cold authority. "Mrs. Whitmore, you've endangered our community. That savage could have been scouting for an attack." Anger flared in Cordelia's chest. "I saw a dying man and gave him water. Since when is mercy a crime?" "Since he was Apache," Morrison retorted. "They're animals who kill our families, burn our homes. You helped one come back with his war party." "He was alone, half dead," Cordelia countered. "He couldn't harm anyone." Hutchinson's voice was final. "The council's decided. You're no longer welcome here. The store won't sell to you, the church won't have you, and your cattle won't reach market. Leave by sundown." The words struck like blows, erasing 3 years of hard-won respect. "You're banishing me for decency?" she asked. "We're protecting our people," Morrison said, his hand inching toward his gun. "Refuse, and we'll treat you as an Apache ally." As they rode off, Cordelia realized her simple act had cost her everything: home, livelihood, community. But the Apache she'd saved was no ordinary warrior. He was Ayanna, son of Chief Standing Bear, and he was already sharing news of her mercy with his people. Cordelia packed her wagon, wrapping Thomas's photograph in a quilt, her hands trembling. The chickens clucked nervously, she couldn't take them or her cattle. Where would she go? The nearest settlement was 100 miles through hostile territory, and her savings would last mere months. As the sun dipped, drums echoed from the hills. Apache war drums, the settler's nightmare. Heart racing, she grabbed Thomas's rifle, its 4 bullets pitiful against what sounded like an army. Peering out, she saw them, dozens of Apache warriors, painted for war, emerging from the tree-line. But they weren't charging. They rode slowly, in a procession led by Ayanna, now upright, and an older man with silver-streaked hair, Chief Standing Bear. Behind them were women, children, and elders, not a war party but a community. Ayanna dismounted where she'd given him water and spoke respectfully to his people. The chief approached, his English careful. "My son says you saved his life when you could have let him die. You risked much for mercy." Cordelia gripped the rifle. "I just gave him water." "Water is life in the desert," Standing Bear said. From a pouch, he drew a silver and turquoise necklace, worn smooth by generations. "This belonged to my grandmother's grandmother, given only to those who show great honor. You are no longer welcome among your people for choosing mercy. We offer you welcome among ours." Cordelia's breath caught. This was more than jewelry, it was belonging, acceptance by a people who valued her compassion. "I don't understand," she whispered. Ayanna stepped forward. "I am Ayanna, sent to scout your settlements. Your mercy changed what I told my father." Standing Bear nodded. "We watched you face banishment with dignity, holding to your principles. We offer you a choice: come to our village, where kindness is strength." Cordelia hesitated, glancing at her ranch, then at the Apache, warriors nodding respectfully, children watching curiously. "I'm white, your enemy. Color of skin matters less than color of heart," Standing Bear said. "Yours is good." As she reached for the necklace, hoofbeats shattered the moment. Sheriff Morrison and a dozen armed men charged in, rifles raised. "Cordelia, get away from them!" Morrison shouted. "We saw their smoke. They're here to kill you." "They came to thank me," Cordelia protested, stepping between the groups. The Apache warriors tensed, but Standing Bear signaled restraint. Morrison's eyes blazed. "War paint, drums, this is what I warned you about. You helped one, and they've come for revenge." Standing Bear spoke calmly. "We mean no harm. We honor this woman's courage." "You'll honor nothing but death," Morrison snarled, raising his rifle. Cordelia stepped in front of the chief. "Shoot him, and you shoot me first." The standoff was electric, 12 rifles against 30 warriors, held back only by Standing Bear's command. Hutchinson tried reasoning. "They're manipulating you, Mrs. Whitmore. If we wanted war, would we bring our children?" Standing Bear countered, gesturing to the families behind him. Doubt flickered in the posse's eyes. Standing Bear produced a treaty on hide, written in English and Apache. "Read it," he urged Cordelia, her voice steadied as she read. "The Chiricahua Apache pledge eternal peace with Cedar Ridge, sharing hunting grounds, trade, and mutual protection. Aid will be given freely to any in need." She continued, "This treaty protects any white person unjustly cast out for kindness to Apaches." Murmurs spread among the posse. Deputy Richard spoke up. "Sheriff, this could mean real peace. My wife's terrified of raids." "You're relieved." Morrison roared, but others lowered their rifles. Hutchinson eyed the treaty thoughtfully. Standing Bear unveiled gifts, silver jewelry, furs, fine weapons. "These show our faith, but our greatest gift is knowledge, finding water, tracking game, reading storms." Morrison's finger tightened on the trigger. "You're poisoning our town." But Richards pushed his rifle down. "Enough, Sheriff. They came in peace." Hutchinson dismounted. "Morrison, you're relieved. We'll hear this offer without guns." Morrison galloped off, his authority broken. Tentative exchanges began. Apache children taught settler kids grass weaving, women shared preservation techniques, men discussed water sources. Cordelia, wearing the necklace, bridged the divide. Standing Bear addressed all, "This woman was cast out for mercy. We offer her sanctuary and a purpose, make this ranch a place where our peoples meet, trade, and resolve conflicts peacefully." Hutchinson nodded. "We'll vote to rescind your banishment, Mrs. Whitmore. Your courage has shown us what's possible." Ayanna approached Cordelia. "You saved more than my life. You saved a future without fear." 3 months later, Cordelia's ranch became a trading post and neutral ground, where Apache and settlers learned their shared humanity. Children played together, and the treaty endured, proving that a single cup of water could transform a territory. Cordelia, once banished, became the guardian of a peace that showed mercy was the strongest force of all.